Imagine a war so massive that it reshaped the entire world. A war where millions of lives were lost, entire cities turned to rubble, and powerful empires rose and fell. But what if I told you that some of the biggest turning points of this war weren't just battles? They were mistakes, critical decisions, miscalculations, moments where leaders thought they were winning but were actually sealing their defeat. Today, we dive deep into the biggest mistakes that changed World War II forever. Let's begin with one of the most devastating strategic eras in military history. The decision by Adolf Hitler to fight a war on two fronts. At first, everything seemed unstoppable. Germany had already taken over Poland, defeated France, pushed Britain to the edge. Hitler believed he was invincible. So, in 1941, he launched Operation Barbarossa, the invasion of the Soviet Union. This was supposed to be a quick victory. Hitler thought the Soviet Union would collapse in months. But things didn't go as planned. The Soviet Union didn't fall. Instead, it fought back fiercely. Then came the brutal Russian winter. German soldiers froze in extreme cold, ran out of supplies, faced relentless Soviet resistance. While fighting the Soviets in the east, Germany still had enemies in the west. The United Kingdom was still resisting, and soon another major power would enter the war. By opening two fronts, Hitler made a critical mistake. He divided his military strength. Instead of focusing on one enemy, Germany was stretched thin across thousands of miles. This decision would weaken Nazi Germany and set the stage for its eventual defeat. If there was one battle that truly broke Germany, it was the Battle of Stalingrad. This wasn't just any city. Stalingrad was a major industrial center, a key route for oil supplies, symbolically important, named after Joseph Stalin. Hitler wanted it badly. What followed was one of the most intense battles in history, street by street, house by house, room by room. Snipers hid in ruins. Soldiers fought at point-blank range. It became a war of survival, just like before. Winter played a deadly role. German troops lacked winter clothing, ran out of food, were surrounded by Soviet forces. Even when defeat was obvious, Hitler refused to allow retreat. He ordered his army to fight to the last man. This decision trapped over 300,000 German soldiers. The result, massive German losses, entire army destroyed. Turning point in the war. After Stalingrad, Germany was no longer advancing. It was retreating. Now, let's move across the world to the Pacific. Another decision, another mistake that changed everything. The attack on Pearl Harbor attack. Japan was expanding rapidly in Asia, but it had a problem. It needed oil, resources, power, and the biggest obstacle, the United States. On December 7th, 1941, Japan launched a surprise attack on the U.S. naval base at Pearl Harbor. Planes filled the sky. Bombs rained down. Ships were destroyed. At first, it looked like a victory. Battleships sunk. Hundreds of planes destroyed. Thousands of lives lost. Japan believed it had crippled the United States. But Japan underestimated one thing: American resolve. Instead of weakening the U.S., the attack united the entire nation. The next day, the U.S. declared war, and now Japan and Germany had a new enemy, one with massive industrial power. Factories in the United States began producing tanks, ships, aircraft at an unbelievable scale. What Japan thought was a smart move became a fatal mistake. It brought a sleeping giant into the war, and that changed everything. Let's connect the dots. These weren't isolated events. They were deeply connected. Picture World War II wasn't just about strength. It was about decisions, leadership, strategy, and sometimes overconfidence. In the end, these mistakes changed history. Fighting a war on two fronts, refusing to retreat at Stalingrad, attacking Pearl Harbor. Each decision seemed logical at the time, but together they led to defeat. Outro, emotional music. History teaches us one powerful lesson. Even the strongest can fall because of a few critical mistakes. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And tell us in the comments, which mistake do you think was the biggest?